And in that dream, I was trying to create the perfect Football Manager 2022 tactic. I tried every single formation possible, but I've settled on the dream version of the 4-2-3-1. Welcome to today's video. Before I show you the dream 4-2-3-1, I'm going to show you just how powerful this tactic is. And as you can see, it was very successful for Bournemouth. Managed to finish 6th in the league. And if we look at the season preview, Bournemouth were predicted to finish 17th, 300-1 odds, and they finished 6th. Not bad at all when you think about it, finishing above Chelsea, who had a terrible season. But European football for Bournemouth, yes sir. And having a little overview at the player stats, you can see just how impressive this is. Dominic Solanke got 33 goals, which, looking at his stats, he should never be getting 33 goals, but he did, and he did it very well. In fact, he did it so well, he finished second highest goal scorer, only behind Haaland, and there's no shame in that. And as you can see on this page, Ryan Christie has 19 assists, the highest assists in the Premier League by a country mile. And when you look at him again, he should not be achieving that, but he did. Just imagine how powerful this tactic could be with better players. Well, wait a couple of minutes and you'll see just how powerful this can be when I test this tactic with Inter Milan and with Porto. And when you look at the squad, you can see just how good this tactic has been for Bournemouth. Solanke, of course, 33 goals. We've got Rothwell with 15 from the left wing, Lowe with 13 from the right wing, and then we get into the defenders and the other midfielders chipping in. However, the 20 assists from Christie and the 10 assists from the right back give you an idea just how this formation is going to play out. Looking at the stats within the league as well, you can see that we performed with the very best of them, only scoring 3 less than Man United. We actually made the most dribbles by a country mile in the Premier League, and again, that is a fundamental part of this formation. And another thing to highlight is we actually had the 5th highest amount of shots in the Premier League, only Liverpool, City, United and Arsenal getting more, and as Bournemouth, you'd take that all day long. Looking in the stats in a bit more detail, you can see that as the newly promoted side, we're actually outperforming the average Premier League side, which is very, very good for Bournemouth. 1.82 goals per game, 1.6 expected goals per game, having around 13-14 shots every match as well, and then having a decent pass completion for the side that Bournemouth have anyways, of 87%, not half bad. So as you can see, this tactic works really well with a team who, if we're honest, does not have that much quality. Let me show you how good it can be with a squad that is a little bit better. And that little bit more quality comes in the form of Inter Milan. And the first thing your eyes will be drawn to is we finished with 101 points and Lukaku scored 82 goals. Mental. Of course, Inter are favourites for the Serie A and they are supposed to win it, but your striker's not supposed to score 58 goals. And you're certainly not meant to finish with a positive 94 goal difference. And looking at the squad in more detail, you can see that the average ratings are infinitely better when you play with better players. Now, not everybody manages Bournemouth, of course. Most of the time, your teams are developed to a decent quality, so expect similar average ratings for your team when you play. And that increase in quality is shown in the amount of goals that you score. Lukaku 82, like I said, Correa 24, Hakan got 8, Mkhitaryan got 8, Martinez got 8 off the bench, but it's the assists that are crazy. Look at how many assists this tactic got using the players from Inter Milan. Hakan got 28 assists. The right back got 15 assists. You'll see a common trend here. Attacking midfielder and right back seem to get most of the assists, and that's all part of the plan. Now, stats-wise, it looks a lot better when you have a better side, of course. We scored the most goals by absolute loads. Fewer shots against, so we are incredibly defensively sound. We had the most shots for, so again, we are dominant going forwards. We made the most dribbles, like you saw with Bournemouth, and we conceded the least and got the most clean sheets. So all in all, pretty good. And just because I like bragging, 3.05 goals per game, incredible. Now this tactic does average around 500 passes per game. This one actually got over 600, and as you can see, the team is very well mixed in together, utilising those little triangles and those simple short passes. And the final team I tested this with is Porto, and as you can see, we finished second. However, we broke Porto's record for the most points possible. It's just Benfica had an incredible season. Evan Nielsen had an incredible year as well, scoring 46 goals. And looking at him, he shouldn't really be scoring 46 goals, but he's pretty good. I reckon he's going to develop into an incredible player in next year's FM. But this year, he did fairly well for me. And looking at the stats within the squad, it's the same story. Our striker, left winger, right winger, and our attacking midfielder contributed to the most goals. But again, that's all part of the plan. So it's time for me to show you this tactic. Here we go then. The first thing we're going to do is change our mentality to attacking. We want to take the game to the opposition and do it well. To do that, we are going to use short passing and pass it into space. We want to try and use the space that is within your squad. We're going to play out of defence and we are going to run at defence. As well as that, we're going to work the ball into the box, focus plays through the middle, and we are going to play very narrow. In transition, we're going to counter press, counter, and we're going to ask the goalkeeper to distribute it to our fullbacks. They are going to be very important for this tactic. And out of possession, we are going to force the opposition outside. We're going to have a much higher line of engagement and a higher defensive line. We're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution and we're going to trigger press much more often. We want to be on their toes all the way through the game. We don't want them to have any time. Because of that, we're also going to use tighter marking and we're going to use the offside trap to try and catch those strikers offside when they're forced to play it up long. And the last thing is to get stuck in. Now, this is optional. I like to use it, but you do accrue a lot of yellow cards, so be warned. First thing we're going to focus on then with the positions is our left back. We want this player to be fullback on attack, and we're going to edit their instructions as we want them to stay wider, run wide with the ball, and we want them to aim crosses for the target forward. On the right hand side, we are actually going to have a wing back on this side, and he's going to be on attack duty as well. We're going to edit the instructions, of course. We're going to say stay wider and we want to aim crosses at the target forward. In front of the goalkeeper, who is going to be a sweeper keeper, by the way, I forgot to change that. We're going to have two ball playing defenders. We just want to keep possession at the back. And of course, we hopefully want to dominate possession. And I think you can do when you have a better team than what Bournemouth have. Ahead of the defence, we are going to have a central midfielder on defend with no extra instructions. And to the left of him, we're going to have one of the most underrated roles in Football Manager, the Carrilero. And this guy is pivotal. He keeps the ball ticking all the way through your squad. He will probably make the most passes out of your team every single game because he's the one who makes all the triangles possible moving across the pitch. Ahead of those central midfielders then, we're going to have an advanced playmaker. However, we are going to add a few instructions. We're going to have roam from position and dribble more. We want this player on the ball anywhere in the pitch because he is your creative outlet. On the right hand side, it is going to be an inverted winger on attack duty. And we're going to add one instruction to this player, which is to sit narrower. The reason being is we want him to be in and around the advanced playmaker position, all while the wing back is running up and down the wing and the advanced playmaker is roaming all over the place. So these two interlink very, very nicely. On the left hand side, we are also going to have an inverted winger, but we're going to have no added instructions to this player. We're going to let him do what he wants. And finally, up front, we have an advanced forward, and all we're going to do is add in my favourite instruction, which is shoot more often. This guy is your goal scorer, so let him take shots to score goals. It really is that simple. And there we have it then, the Dream 4-2-3-1 formation. Give it a go. The download link will be in the description below. While you're there, press subscribe. I've been GG, you've been awesome. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.